Hi, and welcome back to the podcast. It is fantastic to be here with you. I want to talk to you today about, is your body image secretly running the show? I want to show you how, if your body image is secretly running the show, how much it can have a negative impact on your behavior, your habits, your mood as you move throughout the day. And without realizing it, how much it can control and affect your decisions, which means you always end up back at square one if you want to get fit and healthy, because you're just seeing everything through a lens of a negative body image. So I'm going to start off asking you what your body image is like and what you think of your body. And I want to explore the idea that how you see yourself and the body image and what you think of yourself and your body, how it's having an impact on your day-to-day action steps. So this is what I want to figure out with you, if how you view your body and what you think of your body is impacting your action steps, which it did for me for years. And when it does impact your action steps, kind of helping you notice that that is probably contributing to you going around in circles if you are not where you want to be. So I just want to give you a bit of a backstory, first of all, to give you a bit of context. So I'm 5'11". Well, officially I'm 5'10.5", and I am not a catwalk model 5'11" with really narrow shoulders. I am an Irish woman. I have broad shoulders. I'm tall. I'm athletic looking. And over the years, since the day I can remember, from about 11 onwards, I have felt like this was a really negative thing. It was really known to me over the years that big is bad and small is good. That I have big feet, that I have big hands, that I'm big. And whether or not people mean to or not, you're left with this idea that you are too big and that you take up too much space and that you are somehow not being a proper woman, whatever that means. Now, I must say, I do look back at this now and go, that is absolutely cracked. You're 5'10.5". What the hell? 5'11". What the hell? But it's funny. It's who you hang around with, what you're told, what your family tell you, that makes all the stories up, that makes you you and your identity you. And I have always been left with this feeling that I'm too big. And it's the weirdest sensation thinking you take up too much space and there being nothing you can do about it. Like you feel apologetic and bad for taking up space. So you try to shrink yourself. So for me, in terms of body image, all I've ever wanted to do was be smaller. That's it. And I have looked through everything through the lens of trying to get smaller. And it's, even shopping. Like, I'm a size 42 on my feet. Shopping for shoes as a kid, as a teenager, going from shop to shop on Grafton Street, and the shop assistant telling my mum that they don't stock size 8s, and me just feeling like an absolute fucking weirdo. Even now, like, I was in Dunnes Stores the other day and I was like, oh, they look like nice shoes to go with the dress. They only go to 41s, small 41s. Now I don't give a shit. Sincerely, I'm like, well, they don't sell my size, but it used to just add more to the messaging of me just being too big. So everything that I did in terms of everything was through this lens of being too big. And I was kind of contemplating this the other day going, God, in my workouts as well, for many years, I was going into my workouts with the sole goal of to be smaller. So I missed out on all this really fun, enjoyable stuff that I do now with me and my clients, and I speak to them now about exploring your body and your fitness and seeing what your body can do in the sessions, and it being this exploration of your body and your mobility and your flexibility and seeing what you can do and seeing what you can't. And I missed out on all of that. And, one of my goals over this summer is to do pull-ups, is to be able to do pull-ups. And I realized that I've not wanted to do pull-ups, because to me, pull-ups really signifies like strength and power. And I haven't wanted to come across like somebody that had strength and power, because that to me would make me masculine and big. And I only wanted to feel like smaller, which is really fucked up if you think about it. So I shied away from like powerful things in my workouts, like press ups on my toes and trying to do pull-ups. And I suppose the physical like stuff, the big physical empowering stuff that I look at other women do and I think, wow, how cool is that? But for me, I just wanted to try and come across as small as possible, which is fucking cracked. So trying to be as small as possible, the body image, the image I had of myself of being too big has impacted how I've moved my body over the years. And I don't want to say I have regrets, but it is something that I am happy that I have now gotten over, because now I've realized how fucking excellent it is to explore in your workouts, to take the pressure off, to enjoy them. And that's the thing. When you have a shit body image, there are so many things you allow and don't allow yourself to do. Like, you have so many rules on yourself. I had so many rules on myself when all I wanted to do was be smaller. Like, you can't wear that gym outfit because that wouldn't look good on you because you're too big. You just have to like wear baggy stuff because that might make you look smaller. And like, just this, like before, not allowing myself into the gym in case I, looked too big and too out of place, and just having all these rules on myself, like just all these rules on myself. And I don't want that for you too. And I want to ask you, like, is your body image making you, if you feel bad about your body and you're just trying to make yourself smaller and you feel like just too big, is that making you like go for runs and walks and going on the treadmill instead of lifting weights because you're afraid to be powerful, or you're afraid to bulk up? And by the way, weights can't bulk you up, you just get really toned and trim. But like, is your body image impacting your action steps, and how is it impacting your action steps? Like, do you feel too embarrassed to walk into a gym? Do you feel too like big to wear a bikini? Do you feel like me, like you couldn't possibly start doing press-ups or pull-ups on your toes because you're afraid to step into that power? And my body image has also really affected my food, because I was looking through a lens of like me feeling too big and I wanted to make myself smaller. Over the years, I didn't allow myself to eat certain healthy carbs. I didn't eat avocados. I didn't even know what peanut butter tasted really properly up until a while ago. And now I love peanut butter. I just had all these rules and restrictions. And when you actually stop for a moment and just get off the autopilot and really think about it, there are so many rules and regulations we put on ourselves. And we don't need to. We can do what we want, and we can put our shoulders back, and we can step into as much space as we occupy. I don't, and it was the same with clothes. I always felt, because I felt big, you would think that it would make me want to step more into my femininity. And actually, I didn't feel like I belonged in femininity. And I felt like I wasn't allowed, like, feel pretty or wear dresses or wear earrings. Even up until a few months ago, I remember chatting with some of the Thrivers in the last meetup that we had, saying like, I hate dresses. And actually, when I went shopping for my brother's wedding and I was trying on dresses, I was like, wow, because I'm healed, I love feeling feminine. I love this, and I'm leaning into this. This is so enjoyable. And it's the same with like wearing earrings and feeling nice and leaning into that femininity that was always there for me. However, me feeling that wasn't for me, I wasn't allowed, I was stepping on an area that wasn't for me because I was too big, and I just needed to stay in that too big just lane, I suppose. And it's just fucking bananas that I did that for all these years. All those years of thinking I needed permission to wear nice dresses, to wear nice earrings, to do pull-ups, to do press-ups, to eat avocados, to eat carbohydrates, to eat peanut butter. And it's affected my journey towards getting fit and healthy. And I know it has been a big contributor to keeping me held back. Now, there's loads of other stuff that have contributed to me being really unhealthy for loads of years and drinking too much and eating too much, and that's stress and overwhelm. However, there's also other things, and one of them is the body image and me having all these rules and guidelines about what I could and couldn't do. And I suppose the lens through which you do everything. So if you are seeing everything through a lens of, I'm too big, I want to be smaller, all the little micro decisions are going to make, you're going to make them with the goal to be smaller. So you might necessarily make the healthy food choice. You might just go for the diety, restricted, extreme thing. And the workout that you do, you mightn't step into that empowered, press up on your toes, lifting weights buzz, because you're afraid subconsciously that that's going to make you bigger. So you want to do more treadmill-y, cross-trainery things, or go walking. Maybe you're afraid of making your body bigger, even though that's impossible, but you're afraid to step into your power. Maybe it's affecting the way you dress. Maybe you don't like your stomach, or you feel like you're uncomfortable in your body. You feel too big, too overweight, so it's impacting how you dress. There's all these little micro decisions that we make on a daily basis that give us the outcome that we have currently, that we don't really think about too much. We tend to just constantly think about, how are we going to fit in our workouts? How are we going to eat healthy? How are we going to do this? And we don't actually think of what it is that is holding us back. And for almost all of us, it's not that we have a lack of knowledge around being healthy. It's that we're not really dealing with what's actually holding us back. We're just thinking that we need to find the right food plan and the right combination of exercises, when actually it's always so much deeper than that. So I've written down ways in which your negative body image, how you feel about yourself, can hold you back. And one of the ways is that you start a new routine from a place of shame. So you only take action when you feel bad about yourself. You don't take action from a self-care point of view. You take action because you feel like shit about your body. So you take all this all or nothing action. You just go hell for leather because you hate your body. But that sense of urgency isn't sustainable. So what happens is you go back to nothing. So that all or nothing that you feel could actually be just driven by you hating on your body. It's weird. Like, all those things that you do on a Monday to try and get you back could be just because, well, I hate my stomach, I've eaten too much at the weekend and I look like shit. So that's driving you to be healthy. But you're being driven by all the wrong reasons. So therefore it's not sustainable. Isn't that messed up? Like, isn't that fucked up? Like, that's what's holding you back. Or you might jump from one plan to the next, one quick fix to the next, because you want to look different and you want to look different fast. So you just don't have time for working on the shaky foundations, for building the solid foundations, because you're just so obsessed with how you look and how bad you feel you look. Or you avoid doing things until your body changes. Like, oh, I'll do that when I'm fitter. I'll go kayaking when I look leaner. I'll go into the gym when I've lost weight. Like, that is you and what you think about your body impacting how you're living your life. It's impacting how you're living your life, how you feel about your body. Isn't that messed up? Or working out being a punishment for what you ate. So you've got a bad body image, so you work out to try to make yourself look better. So you're using it as this tool to try and make yourself smaller and to make up for the food that you've eaten. I mean, it's all just geared towards you hating on yourself. You go on the weighing scales because you hate yourself. You eat the food you're eating because you want to try and be smaller. So, but what happens then is you restrict and you diet, so therefore you end up overeating and you always end up back at square one. Like, how we see ourselves is so important. I love my body now. I love my height. I love my feet. I love my hands. I love all parts of me. Sincerely, I love all parts of me. And I'm so thrilled that I have become a person who doesn't give a flying fuck about what people look like. And I will pass that down, and I am passing it down already to my children. How they look or what they look like just is not a topic of conversation in our house. What celebrities look like or what people, it's a conversation that just doesn't exist in our house. And that, I must say, has always just been led by Joe from the beginning, my husband, because his family aren't into that at all. And they're just so practical when it comes to people's bodies. Like, they just don't comment on it. They're not interested on it. They don't care. It's just something that's never been in their conversations. So it's really easy for me to follow and take that lead. And also it was really easy for me when I was healed to have somebody around me like that. So it's fantastic. But I'm loving wearing dresses. I'm loving wearing earrings. I'm loving practicing pull-ups. I'm loving doing press-ups on my toes. And my goal now is to take up all the space that my body takes up, to stand tall with the shoulders back, and to be unapologetically me. What about you? Are you being unapologetically you? Do you shrink down? Do you crouch? Do you slouch? Do you try and hide yourself with baggy clothes? And now, I'm not saying that, like, if you're overweight, that you need to just be saying, I'm healthy, I'm healthy, I'm healthy, I look great, I look great, I look great. That's why you can get a little bit, like, you have to be careful that on the one hand, being healthy is a fantastic way to be, and having a goal of getting healthy is fantastic. And I understand that when you feel like shit in your body, that you cannot say to yourself, I love, or it's very difficult to say to yourself, I love my body. However, you can understand that your body is your body that is here for you, and that you might be experiencing unhealthy habits that aren't serving you at the moment. But it's more that you're frustrated with your habits rather than your body. So if you try to, like, depersonalize it and not put it on your body, but put it on the habits that you're doing that are making you feel unfit and out of shape. So I really do get it. It's horrible to feel like 3 stone overweight, 2 stone, half a stone overweight, and just uncomfortable in your own skin and feeling like you're going around in circles. I do get it. But the point of this episode is to get you thinking about how you see your body impacting your micro decisions. And if you didn't have any issues with your body image, how would your healthy habits be different? Maybe you wouldn't have so much fear around certain types of food. Maybe you wouldn't have so much fear around certain types of workouts. Maybe you wouldn't have so much fear around the type of clothes that you want to wear. So all that I want you to do really is to just get yourself thinking about this. That do you look through a lens of you wanting to be smaller, and are all the habits and action steps that you take on a daily basis through the lens of you trying to be smaller? And if they are, it's probably contributing to you going around in circles, because trying to get smaller is a very different goal to trying to becoming healthy. Well, becoming healthy, you broaden what you're focusing on. So if I said to you, you're going to be focusing on being healthy, you're probably going to look at stress management, at reducing your stress and overwhelm. You're probably going to have some mental health action steps throughout the week, some downtime, boundaries. You're probably going to look at your routines, like your bedtime and your nighttime, and you're going to focus on nourishment. So how old are you? You're a woman? Are you going through the menopause? Like, what foods are really great for you to help you feel healthy, and how can you nourish your body? Physical movement, what type of exercise suits you best for you to become mobile, fit, flexible and healthy? So you are going to start doing this stuff with the view to becoming healthy. So you're going to feel calm and fit and centered over time, and you're going to get fit and healthy. And a side effect of that is that you're going to feel great in your clothes. Any weight that you had to lose, you'll lose it because, well, you're going to be fit and strong. You're not going to be turning to food for comfort because you're going to be calm and centered, and you're going to have worked on your stress and your overwhelm. So over time, you're going to become a fit and healthy person. Now that is a big feckin' difference to somebody saying they want to become smaller. You don't give a fucking, you don't even, stress and overwhelm don't even come into the picture when you are trying to get smaller. You're thinking fitness and food, eat less, move more. Okay, in terms of food, carbs, they're the devil. Protein, gotta eat more protein. Gotta get protein shakes in, maybe protein bars, gotta eat some omelets, gotta cut out the fucking pasta at night time, gotta cut out the carbohydrates at night time. Got to have a miniature little tiny salad at lunch, and I've got to make sure that I stay away from honey or oats or avocados or peanut butter or nut butter or anything else that you might be a little bit afraid of. And I've got to make sure that I am getting small. And on top of that, I'm going to make sure that I am doing as much movement as possible. I'm going to count my 10,000 steps every day and try and shrink my body. Bang. You're probably still going to end up overeating at nighttime because you're so fucking stressed out and overwhelmed. The 10,000 steps are a load of bollocks. You don't need to count your steps. What you need to be doing is a type of exercise suited to you as a woman over 40. I won't bore you with those details now, as I do in every podcast episode. You're not going to be working on your stress and overwhelm or your routines. Why would you? All you give a shit about is getting smaller. Like, whatever your goal is, your action steps are going to line up for that. Why would you be thinking about reducing your stress and overwhelm if all your thing was to get smaller? So really, whatever goal you have is the thing that you're going to be working towards, and that is going to massively impact subconsciously all your little micro decisions on a daily basis. And think about it, like if you're trying to be smaller, you're probably going to end up the heaviest you've ever been, because you're going to be jumping on the scales and they're demotivating, and you're going to be dieting and diets don't work, and you're going to be binge eating at the weekends, and you're going to be missing workouts because you're cranky, pissed off and tired because your diet's all over the place and you feel like you're failing. Like, you're going to just fail, and you're going to be so sick of going around in circles, versus getting healthy and how fucking empowered you feel when you've had a good night's sleep and you get up and you do your workout because you want to become fit, strong and mobile, and you do your Thrive Mind or equivalent, you do a bit of breath work, affirmations, journaling, and you feel like a motherfucker going out to your day. You feel calm and centered and grounded, and you are ready for attack to your work. And you've got boundaries up and you are fueling your body. You feel fantastic because you had the nicest lunch with avocados and maybe tuna and fruit and veg, and you feel mighty, and you eat whole grains, and you don't cut carbs out at any meal. You eat them at every meal, and you're drinking loads of water, and you've got boundaries up, and you've got like action steps to help you unwind and connect with people, and you've got hobbies. That is one legendary woman. That is a woman who is healthy. So back to the beginning of this episode. Is your body image secretly running the show? If you feel like you're too big, what little habits are you doing every day to make yourself shrink? If you feel overweight, how is that impacting all the little mini decisions that you're making throughout the day? And is that keeping you in diet culture? If you feel like I'm onto something here with you, then you know what the next thing to do is? To write out the person you want to become. The action steps she has. And fuck the weight. Fuck the stories you're telling yourself and whatever anyone has told you all throughout your life. Find that inner steely confidence that you have. And it might feel difficult at first to take up all the space that your body occupies in a room. You might want to shrink. You might feel like you're too much. However, just like with everything else, practice makes feeling uncomfortable doing it comfortable. it sincerely becomes your new normal. I walk into every room now with my shoulders back. It has taken me a long time to be able to walk in and be myself and chat. I still have little triggers of, oh God, I don't think she likes me. Oh God, I think I'm being too loud, but I still just am myself. So what about you? What parts of you do you need to heal so you can take up all your space and step into your power? Well, you know what? I really hope you enjoyed this episode today. A little bit of a different one. I hope you took something from it and enjoyed it. Remember to go out there and live your best life, and you do you, whatever that is. Wearing dresses, wear earrings, the equivalent for what it is that is for you. Take up all the space, step into your power. You own that body of yours. And if you want to get fit and healthy, keep on going. Just because you're not there yet doesn't mean you should stop. You should never stop until you get to where you want to be. Never, ever, ever quit. Keep on going. Thank you so much for listening today. I hope you enjoy it. If you are struggling, go to my free 5-day challenge, jessicacooke.ie/challenge, where you can do my free 5-day challenge, which will help kickstart you. You'll be doing like some Thrive times and stuff. This is episode 273. So episode 272, if you're feeling stuck going around in circles with alcohol and food, that will help you a lot. Thank you so much for listening to this. Please rate it and subscribe it. It really helps me get the podcast out to more people. Thank you so much for listening, and I will see you next week for more chats. All my love.